Not a political issue.
No.
No.
It's a health issue, and America has come a long way in looking at drugs and criminal interdiction when it comes to drugs from the 80s and 90s with crack to understanding and appreciating that drug addiction. We've all got family members. I can't speak for everybody, but I got family members been addicted to drugs, and it is a health issue. And even the lead-in sheet talks about should we be doing more about criminal code or criminality, and the reality is we ought to be doing more in the health space in regard to reducing the demand for drugs in this country while protecting the borders, of course, and arresting and working with our partners around the world to reduce those who would be supplying drugs to the U.S. It's probably heading for a total ban.
You think so?
If the government says that there are issues with China spying on us, and there seems to be because you have local jurisdictions that are blocking TikTok, it's wildly popular at the same time, but ultimately we cannot have systems in our iPhones or in any of our phones that are stealing state secrets.
Scott, when you hear stories like this about essentially predatory buying, right? There's always some form of price gouging after a natural disaster. We see it in every single one. But putting a moratorium on home sales, how would that work? Because I imagine there's going to be some bad folks out there who want to prey, but there's also going to be some victims who might say, I want to sell. This is a chance for me to move on to the next chapter in my life. Don't force me to stay.
Well, I think it's a balance. I think the Attorney General can issue an executive order or an Attorney General rule that puts a moratorium temporary, let's say the next 30 days. That area right there is a disaster area. It's not going anywhere, and the rebuild is going to take several months, if not years, to do. And so there's a compelling state interest to protect these home buyers and actually protect access to that area, and selling it while you're in an emotional, distressful situation just doesn't make a lot of sense. So I think it's good policy.
And clearly you don't want developers coming in. It's a local community, and then just every single thing is a hotel,
it's
this, that. I mean,
Free enterprise run amok, unfortunately. And listen, it is what it is in this country. But that moratorium would solve a lot of issues.